This is the Infinix Smart 8, the successor to the Infinix Smart 7 that was released earlier this year. The Smart 8 has some new features and a fair starting price of around 80,000 naira for the base model with 3 gigs RAM and 64 gig storage space. If you want the model with 4 gigs RAM and 128 gig storage space, then you have to spend close to 100,000 naira. Around that same price point, there are a couple of other devices that might be worth considering. But let me tell you everything you need to know about the Infinix Smart 8 and why it might be a better choice for you. The Infinix Smart 8 has a plastic finish at the back and it shines when the light hits it. I have the timber black colorway, but to me, this is more of a metal color. There are also a couple of other colors available out there and the shiny gold might just be the best color option. It has a plastic frame, and on the right side, we have the side-mounted fingerprint scanner just below the volume keys. The fingerprint scanner is fast and responsive. The phone has a flat back with rounded edges and it's really comfortable to hold in the hand. There are 2 cameras at the back of the phone and we are going to talk more about them in a bit. There's also a quad flashlight beside the camera that is really bright. You also get another flashlight at the front and it's useful in case you want to take selfie pictures in dark areas. The phone charges through a USB-C port and at the bottom you also find a headphone port and a microphone for calls. It has a mono speaker at the bottom and Infinix claims this speaker can reach 200% volume and we are going to put that to test in a bit. Infinix calls the extra 200% volume Infinity Volume, and at the back of the phone you are going to see that the phone supports DTS processing. Let us do a quick test of the microphone at 100% volume and at 200% volume. You are going to see that it's a bit louder. Let me know what you think about the sound of the Infinix Smart 8 in the comment section. The design of the phone is not something new if you've paid attention to what Infinix is doing on their budget phone for a while. I know people are getting tired of the design, but I just feel Tecno is trying to stick to a particular design like what Samsung and Apple is doing. The phone is well built and I didn't experience any creaking or moving parts while using the phone. Another notable difference between the Infinix Smart 8 and Infinix Smart 7 is the presence of a punch hole cutout on the display of the Infinix Smart 8. Infinix even went a step further by adding a new feature called Magic Port that mimics the dynamic island on the iPhone 15 and 14 Pro. The Magic Ring feature notifies you using some cool animations when there are notifications on the phone. It informs you when the battery of the phone is low and it is also there when you plug the phone to charge. There are also times when if you receive some calls, you are going to see it display the calls. One thing I would like to see Infinix implement is to add more functionality to the Magic Ring. We have a 6.6-inch IPS LCD display on the Infinix Smart 8 and it has a 90Hz refresh rate, but the resolution is 720p. Display is okay for the price and you are going to enjoy streaming content on YouTube because there are some contents that can even go for as high as 2K resolution. The display is visible outdoors, but you have to max out the brightness depending on how sunny it is outside. You can set the refresh rate to 60 or 90 Hz, or you can even leave it on auto refresh rate. Personally, I have mine set to 90 Hz refresh rate all the time. There are certain areas where the refresh rate is noticeable, like when you are using Chrome or maybe swiping through the settings or other minimal apps on the phone. You hardly notice the high refresh rate while playing games. Overall, the display is not the absolute best out there, but when you consider the price and what the display can do, then you are going to appreciate what you are getting on the Infinix Smart 8. The phone is powered by the Unisoc T606 processor, and when you look around, you are going to notice that most of the competing phones are also powered by similar chipsets. On paper, you are going to see that the Unisoc T606 processor is close to the MediaTek Helio G85, but personally, I would have preferred the MediaTek Helio G85 on the Infinix Smart 8. It is a more proven processor. The chipset can handle basic tasks like scrolling through the internet, calls and texting just fine. You can play games like PUBG and COD Mobile at minimum settings, but you are not going to get a smooth experience. My unit here has 4 gigs RAM and it can be expanded to 8 using a feature called Memory Fusion that allows you to use some storage space to add up to the RAM. You can also expand the storage space using a memory card. In terms of multitasking, it's not the best, but the phone can retain a fair number of apps in the background. The phone is running on Android 13 and XOS 13 is the user interface. If you are someone who is familiar with the interface of Infinix, then you are going to appreciate how it looks, at least with don't get over bloated apps like we used to before. You can customize the phone to your taste, and if you go into the settings of the phone, you are going to see a lot of things that you'll have fun playing with. Infinix phones normally come with some pre-installed apps, and while some are not useful, I find myself using the Google apps on the phone a lot nowadays. I use Google Drive a lot nowadays because I can quickly access the Google Docs and Sheets for my workflow easily. The Google Calendar is also very important because I use it to mark down meetings and other tasks I need to complete every day. I love how smooth the software experience is on this phone, and I hope we are going to be getting an Android 14 update on the Smart 8. Even though it looks unlikely, I'll stay hopeful. There are two cameras at the back of the phone, a 13 megapixel primary camera, and we have a second AI lens for depth sensing. Quick tip, if you want to get good pictures with the Infinix Smart 8, then while snapping your picture, you need to make sure your hands are stable. Most pictures are detailed and colorful, but in sunny conditions, HDR is missing. There is an 8 megapixel selfie camera at the front with a flash, and it does a good job in well-lit environments. Here are some more pictures and videos from the phone. This is a video with the front-facing camera of the Infinix Smart 8. The audio you are also listening to is from the microphone of the Infinix Smart 8. Let me know what you think about the video quality in the comment section. The phone is only capable of recording 1080p videos with the front-facing camera. It has a 5000 mAh battery, and it's one of the strengths of the Infinix Smart 8. It can last an entire day on a single charge, and even when you turn on the 90Hz refresh rate on the display, you are still going to get through a day of battery life. The 10 watts charger inside the phone's box charges the phone from 0 to 100 in over 2 hours. As far as I'm concerned, battery is not going to be an issue with the Infinix Smart 8. Now to the final question, should you buy the Infinix Smart 8? The answer is yes, but you need to understand that this device is not a performance or camera-centric phone. It is a decent device that will handle basic tasks well, and the battery life is also impressive. You can also do a bit of casual gaming on the Infinix Smart 8. If you have any enquiries about the phone, feel free to ask in the comment section, and that's it for this video.